Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, September 5th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2021. Snow is in the forecast, but the big story, week after Hurricane Ida's landfall, hundreds of thousands still without power. Keep calm. It is, well, you're in the dark time. That's a boom. Let's take a look over at Power Outage US, where, yes, in fact, 568,000 customers still without power. That translates to about 1.5 million people. Let's get real here. So that's what's happening still after the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. Now, Hurricane Ida made landfall in Louisiana. Hundreds of thousands of residents are still without power, and the state confirmed a 13th storm-related death Sunday. Ugh. More than 590,000 homes and businesses in Louisiana were without power. And once again, these are customers. Sunday, according to Power Outage US, about 24,000 people are working around the clock to restore power. Louisiana's largest electric utility company, Entergy, said Saturday. Now, people from all around the country have closed in on this region to fix the power because they're getting double time. And that is, boom, good news for those guys. Now, the power is still out. We also have a slight power outage, 16,000 plus in California. So anyone's guess what that is about? Probably to prevent forest fires. Now, New York Mayor, Ida, devastation shows the need to prepare for the very, very worst. Now, did they just get the memo? I guess so. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in a major city near you. South Lake Tahoe evacuation orders have been lifted as crews increase containment on the Caldor fire as the winds have been suppressed and they are quiesced. Good news, South Lake Tahoe will not burn as of now. Biggest army worm invasion in 30 years skips crops and gets the turf. This is good news unless you're a sorghum farmer or a turf farmer, for goodness sakes. But the fall armyworms are marching across the U.S., turning lush green lawns into dull brown as the invasion spreads from Virginia across the Northeast states and beyond. There they are. Look at that little bugger. Now, it's the largest infestation entomologist Tom's Kuhar has seen in the last 30 years, and perhaps the most unique. These pests are often found in crops, such as corn, rice, and sorghum, though the Virginia Tech professor said this year's outbreak is selectively targeting lawns and some hay fields while bypassing crops. This is amazing. It's not normal for fall armyworm behavior, however, he said in a phone interview. They should just be devouring things in their path, but they are selectively eating grass, which is good news for the farmers. Now, a 54-degree swing and frigid temps shock a Colorado town, and it's our first hard freeze in Colorado. Through warm summer weather still seems to be lingering, though warm summer weather seems to be lingering in parts of Colorado. It was in the upper 80s. You saw the video today, didn't you guys? I mean, walking around the garden. Well, that won't likely be the case for long. It is fall, and anything can happen now. In some parts of the state, things are cooling down in a big way. According to the National Weather Service, temperatures in Crowdry, a town north of Walden, far north of here, hours north, and found in Jackson County, hit 17 degrees this morning at 6 a.m. The temperature has since climbed to 71, now climbed to over 81 here, meaning a 54-degree temperature swing today. Now, that's not big news. We have those all the time here at the ranch. Probably 20 days a year are 54 degrees. Another 100 days a year are 50-degree swings, and the average is 45. Now, warm temperatures were present in the area of Crowdry, with the cooling taking place at night. It's only 7,900 feet above sea level, but that thermal inversion and the valleys are the coldest place right now at the flexure point between fall to winter. So we get the first frost down here in the river valley, and that's just how we have to live to have access to all that water. Now, GFS models showing no precipitation for the next, well, it's looking like 7 to 10 days for 20 states in the West. No precipitation whatsoever for the next 10 days. And it's not going to get much better through the end of September. But what is coming, and no one's bumming, is snow. Ho, ho, ho. A little bit of patch there hitting right now. But then a second little snow clipper moving through Monday, September 13th, through the 14th and the 15th and the 16th across Canada. By the 18th, the second system will move in, and the 19th, and here is the 19th and the 20th. So this is going to increase, in my opinion, and change. But quick thing to note here is that there has been snow every month in every GFS model since last winter. And that's a first for us here in the channel, so keep that in mind. Early snow. Snowfall hits the Uttarakhand in India. European ski areas open early in September after heavy August dumps. And green Europe is facing an energy crisis because, well, if you listen to my Crestone Energy Fair presentation, the green movement is nothing but a bunch of propaganda and lies. It's not to help you. It's not to help me. And it certainly has nothing to do with CO2. Well, everything to do with CO2. They're taxing it from summer heat wave to summer snow. Why British Columbia's swing between extremes is not a sign of global warming. It's a sign of low solar activity. And Cap Allen covers it quite succinctly here. It's the changing jet stream. As our magnetosphere breaks down, as the sun goes dormant, the stable jet stream during solar maximum that we were well aware of most of our lives, we're talking 2 decades ago, has been breaking down. And in recent years, it has completely broken down into what we call the wavy jet stream or meridional flow. Now, this can bring hot air all the way up to the Arctic, while Arctic air can move all the way down into the tropics, all within the same week. And that is your life lesson for the day. Now, Arctic ice extent is this, well, it is the highest extent seen in the last 8 years. And no one is reporting on it. It is the largest area in 8 years as well. And no different here at Antarctica. Antarctica is showing the second largest ice extent ever recorded. Now, if you were to present this in a factual way like I did on the mainstream media, people all around the world would be running around saying, why is Arctic ice extent at the highest it's been in a decade, and Antarctica is the highest, second highest ever recorded if we're in a global warming world? Well, it's because the media and scientists and governments are complacent in the lie. And if you want to know more, check out the extremely explosive and explosive interview with Willie Soon that we just did the other day. It is absolutely the most refreshing, fantastical display of human courage and honesty anywhere on the internet. And that's a boom to Willie Soon, who's going to be joining us in just a few weeks for a follow-up. Seismic update, no quakes of note, which is good. All is quiet on the Western Front. Moving along here. Let's talk about eruption versus intrusion. What is the difference? Well, an eruption is when lava flows on the surface. An intrusion is when lava gets placed just below the surface prior to the eruption. And that's exactly what's happening in Hawaii. Now we're looking from August 23rd, 24th through August 31st and then September 1st. And from August 23rd to August 25th, there was a large earthquake swarm, and the tiltimeters, these are devices on the surface to tell if the surface is rising or falling, started to rise. One of them started rising rapidly, the light green one here, during this earthquake swarm. Now, if you're a geologist, pretty simple math here. This earthquake swarm is happening. The crust is cracking here because magma is being pushed into the subsurface at a thickness here of 20 or 30 units, whatever that is. So that is an uptick in the tiltimeter there. And then here you see a secondary swarm on the 27th, where the green continues to move up during the entire swarm. Now, this is indicative of magma being emplaced just below the surface of Kilauea. So what we have here is a magma emplacement event, which happens just prior to eruptions. So what do we get out of this lesson? Kilauea is about to erupt. Worldwide Volcano News Update. You just got the big story, but we can add on Ibu, puffing to 7,000 feet, and we also have Fuego, Karimshki, Semaru, Novados de Ruiz, Swanosima, and Semi-Sopochnoy. Fuego going to 15,000 feet just moments ago. Karimshki to 20,000 feet, one of the larger eruptions in current months. Nevados de Ruiz, 21,000 feet, Semeru, and Swanosima, and so on. Nothing out of the ordinary or spectacular, in my opinion. Now, there is some spectacular activity happening in Iceland. We know that. A once-in-a-thousand-year fissure eruption has been ongoing for months, and it was our prediction several months ago when the fissure eruption began. Well, we predicted the fissure eruption months before it began. Very few people did. And then we said, based on historical information, that if a fissure eruption occurs, a major volcano will erupt within a year in Iceland at VEI 3 or greater. And sure enough, September 4th here, Askja volcano started inflating in August. And this volcano hasn't erupted since the 60s. It typically erupts in a 60-year periodicity or less, but this has been a long, quiet period. And this volcano, unfortunately, has the capacity to erupt at VEI 5 here back in 1875 during the Dalton, and another 5 back at 9000 BC. 2 VEI 5s. In the last 100 years, it has erupted at regular intervals at VEI 2. So we have a range from VEI 2 to 5 to be expected from Askja when it does erupt in the near future, as the vertical deformation is showing us, once again, due to tiltimeters, that magma is being placed under the yellow and red region. So all these links will be below. Also, some earthquake activity at Evacuation volcano. A small earthquake swarm took place on the 3rd of September in Evacuation volcano. It's the first earthquake activity in a while, and suggests there might be about to start more earthquake activity in this Evacuation volcano. And we all know that that boomed recently, and so lots of activity in Iceland to keep an eye on. Now, the new realm of unnuclear physics. Neutrons may actually talk to one another in a new kind of symmetry, and an absolutely, well, amazing and trippy visual there. Now let's get to the science. Even though neutrons love to partner with protons to make the nucleus of an atom, the particles have always been notorious for their reluctance to bind with each other. But according to a new proposed theory, these particles might actually communicate under certain circumstances, forming a new sort of unparticle, which could offer evidence of a new kind of symmetry in physics, eliminating the dark matter, dark energy bullshit that we're trying to eliminate. But not really. I just threw that in there, like swimwear. World's first fully electric tractor, holy macaroni, could outclass all rivals. In fact, it does already, because there is no emission whatsoever. Organic permaculture farm much. This baby starts at 50 grand, is fully autonomous, and you don't even need to be on it, which is what fully autonomous means. Oh, I just sounded like Creepy Joe. Anyway, back to the picture here. Here we're looking at the Monarch electric tractor, and it is badass. That's all I have to say. This e-tractor couldn't have come at a better time. Farmers around the world are struggling with labor shortages, safety concerns, and increasing customer awareness of sustainability. And this baby is fully autonomous. You could run your own path with it, program that in, and then wake up in the morning and push a button and your tractor will do the work for you. So that's just a boom to knowledge and preparedness. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance when we may have to charge our tractors with the sun and get a big enough Faraday cage to protect them when the event occurs. Hope you got something out of the video. Share this with like-minded people. Watch the Willie Soon interview. Watch the Three Canyons Permaculture Farm walkthrough. And we love you. Be safe. Share this with like-minded people. And